going to do on this exciting DVD is we're going to save this softail frame. Alright, I got one down tube made already. I wanted to go through the process and make sure I was going to not have really gigantic problems doing it before I went ahead and looked stupid on film. It really wasn't any big deal. I got this all set up. Same deal, I put this in my drill press. I'm going to show you how I did the angle for this here on my drill press with a, I guess a mill table vise is what you would call it. And how I got this angle also. Now I got my slugs made for the down tubes. And it's got a little bit of a shoulder on it, and the small side goes into the Harley frame, and this goes into my DOM tube there like that. And I remembered to put my rosette weld holes in there, so everything should be copacetic. So I'm going to put this together to show you the deal. And this is why I don't have anything tack welded. This is really just kind of, this isn't tack welded, I just slid it over. That's another nice thing about the gussets, is just slide it on, it kind of sits there. And I have this still so I can just push it out of the way. And that's because these are on an angle, and it's going to be nice and easy to move that out of the way and slip this down tube in. So, when you get one down tube in, then you're going to put the other one in, it's going to be really tough to get this in. It's going to be a little bit of a Michelin roll. You can move it around and get just enough out of it to make it happen. I just slide this back, and move it till it fits nice again. You can make a tick mark with a Sharpie or something, and there you go. That's like, it's almost like a snap together at this point. I don't mean to belittle it, but a lot of times if you failed algebra, you'll regret it right now. You know, you got this angle and that angle and this boppity boop and squares and triangles and octagons and x equals something and to the y and cupcakes and who knows. But then we got that. It's a little shy and shallow here. It doesn't meet because I want to pull it back that little bit, because these here, when you cut them, they kind of go that little bit. So I want to pull that back just that little skosh, so I cut it just that little bit short. I'll zoom the camera in and I'll show you my fits and everything and how that's going to look up here. So I get this right where I want it. That loosened up on me, huh? That's right there, right where it should be. And what I want to do is just kind of, oh, I moved my camera. Didn't even see that. Sorry, guys. And this is like right here, and I want that to just come back that right there like that. I want that little 1/4 inch bit in there, because it's kind of like how the factory frames are. So when I go to tack weld this together, I'll pull it back, I'll go zippity zap with the electric glue gun, zippity zap there, and then we're all good. And this is, you know, obviously the triangle and stuff, that's all going to come in later on. So no worries there. So, you know, pull that down as good as you can get it, pull that back, and then, yeah, it's a good fit. I got my rosettes here and 2 rosettes here, plug welds, whatever you want to call them. And I beveled these so I can lay a really good heavy weld right on in there and keep that all in place. And there you go. You can start to see, you know, how that frame is coming along now. I think that's pretty sexy. It'll look pretty good. I can put this after the motor's in. I still got to make a top motor mount and, you know, have maybe a support bar. I was thinking I might even box this off like they used to back in the old days. And then I'd make like kind of a box behind it also, low and coming up on a curve. Something a little bit more sexy than just that pipe coming down. It looks cool on a drag bike when you're trying to profile going to the last hour bar, or the last chance bar. You know, you want it to be a little bit more sleek and pimped daddy. So I got my piece of pipe set in the back. Let me get all set up in there, get my camera back there. Oh, actually, yeah, I got to show you the angle of the dangles and stuff. So you got to find this angle here in order to set your table up for the to blow the hole saw through to get that just right. So you got, you know, the neck was going this way, and then we got this way. So we had to figure out, you know, this, that. We got, what did I say, 16 degrees for that, and that fit nice. So this here, basically, if you imagine that this is your drill press, right? And that's the drill press. When you bring it down, it goes like this. So imagine this is the hole saw going through this. So that's your vertical line. So this would be like coming this way, your 90-degree line. So this is actually 30 degrees. I think it was 30, 33 degrees. I have to look at my protractor in there. I got it all set up. So, but you could also, they make, you could use a grade school protractor, but they make like these little angle finder things. You could take that, set something in there where you think it's got to be, and bang. That'll tell you right what you got. Like I said, those digital jammies, they work pretty good too. But this is I think it was 30, 33, 35 or something like that, the degrees. So you got to find your degree, and what you're going to do is when you know that that's, let's just say 35 degrees for argument's sake, and this is going to be your vertical line, so you know that your drill press table is like this, and your drill press head goes like this, so that's your 90-degree angle. So what you want to do now is going to be tilt your drill press table. If your drill press does that, a lot of them do. You do that to however many degrees it is, and then when you bowl that pipe through, you imagine that's the backbone of the bike, and then there you are. You got everything you need to have. Let's go in the back. Let me kill this camera, get in there, and I'll show you how I make a lot of noise doing this basically the wrong way, but getting the job done nonetheless. Okay guys, cutting the hole. I know we went through this for the backbone. We're cutting the hole for these down tubes. We don't want to take the hole saw and go straight down the middle like we did on the backbone, because the down tubes are kind of set off side to side. And we grab this old piece of steel here. So they're kind of like this. And we're actually going to go back and we're going to cut the frame tube in the middle here, straight up and down, so they kind of meet nice like this when you look at them. So they're going to get welded here and then around this side of it. But we'll get to that later on. But right now, so like I said, you don't want to go straight through like this. Like when I did the down tube for the left side, from me looking at the bike, from you looking at it to your right, I kind of had this set off to the side. Off to the side just enough to where it's like this. So some of this would be the high wall on this side, and then it comes down and around like this and then back up. All right? So now we have to do that for my left side, my right side, your left side. Stage exit, 5 right, trapdoor in the basement. So keep in mind when you're doing that, we're going to shove this pipe in here. Again, now I went through this already with using the gauge and everything like that, and I did figure because I'm looking at it, it's 35 degrees that I did that on. So I got my table moved, the deck on the drill press moved to 35 degrees. So I'll get this in here just so, and I can see where that's going to pass through. So this is pretty deep, that's good enough. Make sure I got it nice and tight. And so that means that if I'm sitting on the bike and this is my backbone going straight through, and this is going to be my right down tube sitting on the bike, that I want some of the high shoulder to be on this side. And then I got, this dial in the back here moves the table up and down, okay? And then this table moves it left and right, as you can see. So what I want to do is I'll take a straight edge, and I want that high side here, okay? So I'll hold this like this until I get this to touch. Yep, go the other way. And there you go. Okay, so that touches. So now I know, where am I? Right there, there I am. So now I know I have 1/8 inch wall tubing. It's a 0.125. So I would want about 3/16 and 1/8 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch would be perfect. So I'm going to, I can hold this right against the line of the vise, which is going to, be the same face as here. So I'm going to hold it there, and I'm going to move this and get about 1/8 of an inch out of it. It's hard for me to do this and make it so you guys can see. There we go. And that's about right. Give it a little skosh more. Okay. Okay? You can see the little bit of a gap I got. So that means my hole saw edge here is going to travel just inside of this. So let's go ahead and make some noise and cut this. Here we go, guys. There you go, guys. Zoom in, show you before I even touch it. See, not too bad. I'm sure that's hot. There we go. And you can see it's like a little square, all right? But when you look at this side, you can tell, you know, when I go ahead and grind the edges and stuff down, it's gonna have a nice fish mouth to it. But there you go. All right, now you remember I bought the backbone a little too long, and this is the scrap piece that came off. It's cool to hang on to it because now I can take it and check my fit without having to go up to the bike. I can show you here, right there, how nice, you know, our drill press hole saw method works. You know what I'm saying? That there is extra sugar-coated Fruit Loops in my eyes, right? That's the right thing. So, you know, that's our, whoop. That's my glass eye breaking on the floor. But here you go. Sammy Davis Jr. wouldn't like that joke, would he? So here you go. That's the backbone of the bike, and that's the down tube, bada bing. That's what you're looking at right there. You know, and there you go. There you have it. Down tubes. Now I got to cut the, you can't see it in the camera, but I got to cut the bottom off a little bit. Like I said, this is going to end the back. So I'm going to take this one. Actually, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go clean up this edge and everything. I'll pull the other one out and I'll hold it up so it's, both of these sides are the same, so I can get both the lengths the same. So when I pull them back, because I said, you know, and I cut that one a little short so I could pull it back, that they pull back and they're not, you know, my tubes are even and they're not sitting off on the bike like that, because that would suck. So you can see I've got these on the table even, and I'm going to just, you know, use my Sharpie marker and make my line just like that. That's it. Now I'll go to the chop saw and I'll cut it. And I'll show you on this side how I determined my length. So I kind of, you know, I've got the edges beveled and they've ground back so I can weld them. And so that to me is about right there. So if I had a straight edge against it, there we go. So on the other end, I just made my mark. And it marks right there. So I'll go ahead, I'll cut this off in the bandsaw. I'll drill these plug weld holes, rosette weld holes, and we'll come on back and finish this off. All right, we're just going to put our slug in the down tube, guys. And because it's shouldered that little bit, you know, she's just going to bottom right out on the low part of the tube. And let's push this forward and spin this the other way, out of our way. And so don't get confused, I actually just wrote on the Sharpie right and left on these. And don't forget, you want to deburr, you know, the insides in case you run wiring through here. You don't want it to short the wiring out. And if not for anything else, just to take pride in your work, you know. So let's get that bad boy on. Put this back. And it fits good. And that's going to fit, you can tell just from looking at it, that 1/4 inch back, just like I want it. And there's our other down tube. But now what we're going to have to do is, remember I told you about the two pipes, when they touch, we're going to have to kind of do by eye, have the tube up there, find the center of the backbone, and that's what I use this little jammy for, and my other little jammy. And we'll just kind of like make our vertical mark. You know, first we have to do the right side, take that tube out, then do the other side, and cut them, and then maybe put them both together with the backbone off the bike, see how nice they sit. And we can always check to see if our pipe will sit in there nice. If they're too close or too wide, always take off a little at a time and let it come together. You can just bang this in there and see if it's, because obviously we know that the pipe sits good this way, right? We know that sits nice and everything. So to shave the sides and everything, get it together, you can just lay this in there because it's going to be tight trying to put this all together. You know, both these down tubes and the backbone all at the same time. I don't know how we're pulling this off. If this was just going straight like I wanted to, but Pop can't handle that, that pipe would have just whoop, slid right on in there with a little bit of a kick. Well, we're going to figure this out as we go along, guys. All right, this is going to be kind of tough to do with only two hands because we got to make sure that this stays, you know, where we want it. I'm sure I can eyeball it and get it about right. I'll take my level and I know about where the center is going to be. You can kind of, you know, visually, you know, do one of these deals and guess it. And this is what I'm going to do. Get that back, kind of hold everything like this. And I'm going to look and see, make sure my head's not blocking the camera. Get that in there, it's good there. And that's going to be about center, so I'm just going to try and make a line like that. And I don't know if the camera can see it, but there's that line, okay? Let's get this out of the way, take our tube out. So I've got this one here. You can just see the marker line I made there, and on the other one I already kind of did it. I got my lines there. So I know like about the angle of the dangle, how that's going to have to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in the back and kind of set these down about where I think they got to be and push it through my bandsaw and cut them. If that's really not successful, I'll use the 6-inch cutoff. You see that? There you go. That don't look too bad to me. Let's go up to the bike and put these on, see how it looks there. Okay, let me get this off. And put these on, and this is the right side. And the left side. And there we go. Well, from the looks of it, I got a lot more of a gap than I would like, so I cut too much off. At least I think I did. It looks pretty good, but yeah. I went and I cut a little too much off out of there. So, how am I going to save myself from that? I could make a little gusset that's going to go in there and then come around back on the frame. Something Indian Larry used to do all the time. On like a stock frame, you put a little triangle in there. So I can make that slip straight through. Might as well. See, sometimes a mistake isn't always a bad thing, guys. Just got to make sure that that's going to be the right width. What I can do is I can tack weld this all together and get a big cutoff wheel and go in there and shape it. You know, I'm not going to be upset about this. But, not too shabby. I'm going to make this work and it's going to be beautiful, you'll see. So now, getting this on, no big deal. Alright, so that's what we got to do. It's all the way back. When we put this together, because getting all this together at the same time is going to be a real dog. And that fits good. And these lined up back there. You can see we got, you know, basically a bike frame here, guys. So I can get these back and tack weld all this, and I can cut it apart later if I need to. But I think, you know, with the exception of this in here, I think this is pretty copacetic. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to fester and be upset about this. I like this the way it's coming out. I think it's going to be a good looking frame. Even if it is a soft tail, I know soft tail is not a favorite for all you guys, but like I said, this stuff's around cheap. My father got this out of the scrap pile. So basically I'm only into it for I think the 70 or 80 bucks for all this steel here, you know? So how can you beat that? And you know, the rear swing arms go pretty cheap on eBay because nobody wants them. So if you're just looking to build a bike, like I said, you can. This is for any kind of bike. I don't care what you're building. All this measuring and cutting stuff will fit for any project that's motorcycle related there. So I think that's pretty cool. All this stuff meets the way I like it. And it fits nice, with the exception of the one thing, like I said, I'll own that mistake, I'll make it mine. And I'm going to have to go in and eat now because it's after 7 o'clock and my wife already texted me twice. But I wanted to get this far to show you. I think it's pretty sexy, I think it's pretty cool. Alright, that's it till tomorrow. I'll come back out and I guess, like I said, I'll just give, you know, I'll get this back one tack, the whole thing where they got to be, get this down and get this a tack on either side of the backbone to the neck. And I'll make a cardboard template for my neck to come down to here and this. It'll be good, you'll see, man. You'll really dig this when it's done.